So being a group of degenerate lefties, we all know that conservatives are bad at many things. One of those things is art. And so with that being known, we've seen conservatives try to tackle art a lot. One of those types of people are conservatives who make videos about media critique. Lots of their media critique is dog shit. You just have to look at what Ben Shapiro has to say about literally any piece of pop culture or media. It's just bad. The Quartering also talks about this stuff as well, and all of his videos can basically be summed up as company wants to be nice to gay people. Company says don't kill black people. Yikes. Characterized by every single time someone on Twitter goes on and says Adolf Hitler was a bad person, he then tries to quote tweet and ratio them by saying yikes. Just normal people things. So conservatives have never been very good with media critique or critique about just about anything at all. And we have another example of that because conservatives really want to chime in on Captain America. Now, if I have any comic book nerd ass frogs listening at the moment, Captain America is one of those characters that has always been, you can fill in the blank, he's always been what? What has he always been? The comics, his stories, what have they always been? It starts with a P. White? Yeah, they've been white. Gay? That's not true. I don't think that's true. Penis? No. Power bot. I hate you. Political. They've always been political. Actually, if anything, Captain America is one of the comic book series that has been explicitly political since its inception. Just like most comic books have, in some way, shape, or form, they have a moral to the story. They have some politics about them. Conservatives can't handle that. They don't get it. They don't understand it. And now they're going on the wokeness train. They're decrying wokeness once again for ruining comics. And Dean Cain, who once played Superman 30 years ago, decided to chime in and talk about how awful it is that Nazi punching Captain America has politics in it. Let's talk about that real quick.
Captain America getting political and anything but patriotic in the latest Marvel comic series released right before Independence Day.
Well, the issue claims, quote, the first American dream is the one that is real. It's one some people expect to just be handed to them, when the truth is it never really existed in the first place. Other cultures, immigrants, we're at our best when we keep no one out. A good dream is shared radically, shared with everyone. When something isn't shared, it can become the American lie.
All right.
Which is honestly extremely based. Base Cap. Captain America comics and the morals of the stories when it comes to Cap has always been pretty good. Like, the writers have done a very good job, and especially in his entire 80-year run, you can find a lot of good messages in Captain America. So yes, conservatives see something good, and obviously they have a problem with it. So let's hear what they had to say, because I can't actually imagine a good argument against anything that he said. Sharing a good dream, it's something good, right? It's something great. We want everyone to be able to experience the American dream, but we've always kept people back and kept people out and kept people from experiencing it. So it's been an American lie. It's great. Captain America has always been about radical patriotism, but not chauvinism. It's always been about being inclusive to what America should be. It's a sort of idealist sense of what America can be. And that's the view Captain America has. Captain America through the comics has had struggle with America itself, American ideals, and everything wrong with America, actually. He's tried to fight against. That's what he does in the comics, actually, which is super cool. And we can touch on that in a moment, but let's hear what these dips have to say.
Well, you confused? So what does Superman have to say about that? Dean Cain played that role and took great pride in it. Dean, does this really bother you more than most, you would think?
Brian, I am Captain America. I love Captain America. I love the concept of Captain America, but I am so tired of all of this wokeness and anti-Americanism. We just celebrated our 245th birthday. In my opinion, America is the greatest country in history. It's not perfect. We are constantly striving for a more perfect union, as we all know, but I believe she's the most fair, equitable country ever, with more opportunity than anyone's ever seen. And that's why people are clamoring to get here from all over the globe. I agree with Senator Tom Cotton, who was on a couple days ago, who said that perhaps captain needs to be demoted to lieutenant, because I think that makes good sense. We're here, America has its founding principles, which I firmly believe in. I believe in individual freedom. I believe in equality of opportunity, not outcome. Competition, the ability to compete fairly, hard work, which brings you success and brings you material wealth, which in turn gives you self-reliance. That's what everybody wants on the face of this planet. That's what everybody strives for. That's why they're trying to come here. And I find, this wokeness, it's pervasive. It goes through everything. It's in our school system. The cool thing to do today is bash America. The comic books do it. The schools indoctrinate our kids. They do that. Our movies, our television shows is full of it. Celebrities, actors, athletes, the media, they love to bash America. I don't get it. I wonder to myself often, do these people ever travel outside of America? Do they go to other countries where they have to deal with governments who aren't anywhere near as fair as the United States? I don't think they do. I do it all the time, and I kiss the soil when I get back here.
You're exactly.
So you asked, is he reading off of something? No, he's just going off of his already pre-prepared talking points of just, my man has talked for about a minute and a half and has said literally nothing. Just so you know, this is what we call in the business. This is what we call in the business virtue signaling. He didn't really have anything to contest with. He basically said the exact same thing the comic did, only in a roundabout way, and to Fox News and their their legion of dip pigeons who clap along to whatever they have to say. America good, but America have problem. Isn't that exactly what the comic literally just said? America good, but America have problem. But he just said it differently into Fox News. And then he said wokeness, and then he shut his brain off and then just went into his speech about how, oh, everyone's being indoctrinated, America good, and they say America bad, but not in the same way I think, or something. So who is this guy? He's Dean Cain. I don't know. He acted as Superman 30 years ago, and now he's still being held up as someone whose voice is worth hearing from or something. So they're decrying the politics in a comic book whose main antagonist is literally Adolf Hitler. Can we just take that in for a moment? I hate that they're injecting politics into my show about fighting Nazis. No. Are you okay, buddy? Are you all right? And here's a really big thing. People don't typically understand that things are political until they disagree with them. Because for people, lots of people, politics is just something that you disagree with. Basically, when people start having an argument, that's when politics starts happening. When you're sitting there with your group of buddies, you're like conservative weirdo buddies, and you're like, yeah, get these freaking stinky immigrants out of here. Yeah, Donald Trump. Yeah, small taxes. Yeah. That doesn't feel like big politics to you because you all agree. If I was to come in and was to disagree with you, then you would be like, all these in politics, dude. These politics. Or when someone else brings their own brand of politics in, now it's politics, right? It's the same vein that you can see with a lot of people who do media critique of like games or movies or something, and they're like, look at this awful gay agenda. Listen, to these sorts of people, there's two genders, all right? Male and political. There's two races, white and political. There's two sexual orientations, straight and political. I'm sorry, with these people, it's just things that they disagree with that just becomes political to them, and then they just start getting really upset about it, and they have just about nothing to say either.
Right, I think even more of a demotion. Private first class America, whatever you want.
And look at this title: Dean Cain on Captain America smearing our country by saying that there's problems and we should let more immigrants in. And what the f is this fake ass laugh? Did he really amuse you that much to start cheesing like this? This lady looks like she doesn't want to be there at all. She's like, yeah, whatever. She's like, well, come on, next segment. I'm just here for a paycheck.
call him. But you're right. If anybody would have traveled the globe, it's Superman and Captain America. And you remember the comic book for Superman when he disavowed his American citizenship and said he was now, his allegiance was to the UN. I mean, this is everywhere. And if Captain America can't love America, then who can?
What? Oh, so a worldwide superhero doesn't just only help a single country, he also helps the almost 200 other countries in the world? Crazy, dude. Wild, man. Listen, Captain America has always been filled with politics. Comic books have always been filled with politics. This is just how the world works. People inject their politics into just about everything they do. When stories have morals, that's what we call politics. Calling Captain America Captain Woke just when he has a very extremely tepid criticism of America is just incredible to me. And also, here I have something for you right now. This is from 2013, volume 7, number 14, and this is when he was fighting Nuke, actually, where he was fighting Nuke, and then he went on this little speech, and I thought it was super cool, talking about how he's even a patriot. Patriotism taken too far is fanaticism. No matter who you are or where you're from, foreigners aren't your enemy, son. I'm the son of immigrants. When I was a kid, it was my father's people, the Irish, who were looked down on, called filthy foreigners, discriminated against. Is that the xenophobic America you want? All regions, all nationalities, we all want the same thing: to see our children grow strong, to provide safety for our families, to live in quiet times. Peace, son. Isn't that why we became soldiers in the first place? To fight for a more peaceful world. To imagine that this Captain America hates America or something. And this is actually a really great comic, because this shows the difference between patriotism that Captain America was supposed to embody and fanaticism that Nuke was supposed to embody here, and him overcoming him and doing this like little speech here. It's actually very well put together, like most of the comics are, but that goes shoop right over conservatives' heads because all they see is criticism of America. No, and they just start crying, and then they shut their brain off, go on NPC mode. We're the greatest nation to ever exist. We're the best thing to ever happen, and our kids are being indoctrinated with commie cum, and they're being taught that America bad. And that's it. That's all that they have to say. No introspection, no further thought, no detailed breakdown of anything. Just moaning from the peanut gallery, and it's honestly embarrassing, I have to tell you.